And now on stage, we're going to welcome someone who, in his own way, get to see things from the inside too. So, ladies and gentlemen, be ready for a very scary session. His name is Graicer. He's an expert in cybersecurity. He works with company, government, institution. He either teach them or hack them, because in some way they have to learn somehow, right? So we talk about security, we talk about the property of our information. Please welcome on stage Ilhan Graicer for a very scary session. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Don't clap. You don't know if I'm going to say interesting stuff yet. So I know on the agenda, I kind of look like I'm working for Tel Aviv University in some research center. It's a complete lie. It's just a cover story, but you know the usual stuff is not. What I really do is me and a team of friends, like 20, 30 hackers. This is freaking me out. Okay. So what we decided that our country, which is supposedly Israel is one of supposedly best cyber defended nations in the world, we're not that good. And we're going to prove to the government that it's not good. And as a hackers, we can hack our country better than the country can defend. And instead of just telling them, we decided to go ahead and show them by attacking a hospital. So we went into the hospital. The first things hackers do is reconnaissance. We're trying to get as much intelligence about the target as possible. So hospitals are really places you can just walk in. Most people walk in. Most of them walk out, not everybody. We just walked in. We started taking photos of everything, checking where the computers are, the cameras. Everything was laid out. Nobody asked us what we're doing there. We walked around. We did all of this stuff, all the physical stuff. Then we decided to look online. And we immediately looked at the hospital website. We hacked it. We got all the passwords. We actually copied the website of the hospital and put another version on our servers. And then, kind of like everybody who went in, we told them they have to change the password. And we collected a lot of passwords this way. And they did find out after about 5 months that there's the same website somewhere else collecting it. And we also just looked around the internet because Israel is hacked all the time. So why work if some hacker already did the work for us on the right side? Oh, it's great that you can't really tell, but it's all of the government passwords, all of the hospitals, the ministers, everything. By the way, it was 4 years ago. I'm pretty sure some of those haven't changed yet. So it was very easy to get to the hospital, and we started planning what we're going to do. Hackers we're very lazy, and we're very goal-oriented. So basically our goal was to show the hospital and everybody else that we can kill somebody with a computer virus, which for us was very, very interesting and fun. And we said, okay, this is our goal. We're going to get to these types of devices or areas inside the hospital computer systems so we can actually do it. And we're going to get there. And then we went to the hospital, to the CEO, to ask for permission, which I know it should be done before you actually go start hacking the hospital, but never mind. We didn't tell them, so it doesn't matter. And we told them, we really think killing people with cyber is something we can do, and we really want to show you how. And they said they're not really interested. And the hospital CEO said people die in a hospital every day. They're not always sure why people died. Somebody already could have died from a computer virus or just a mistake or something. So he said, you really want to impress me? You should show me you can kill like 1,000 people or more at one time. And of course, that got us very excited and very motivated to go into the hospital and show them exactly that. And that's what we did. We went into like an auditorium, like a meeting room. We disconnected the hospital. There was a computer there for general presentations. We connected our own stuff inside, a few computers, and immediately we saw all the hospital computers at once. We saw you can scan the network. We saw and every computer was running like Windows XP or something, like an old one. And every computer was open to all the other computers because doctors need to transfer all the time our personal information between them. So that was very easy, and we actually saw maybe 7,000 computers, but we only brought 3 computers, so we couldn't copy everything, but we did get a lot of stuff. Included in that stuff was scripts that help hospital IT people run the computer systems. And because they change IT people all the time, and then they don't remember everything, so obviously the password for the administrator on most of the computer was 126. So long story short, we got control over all the databases, all the computers, all the labs. We could do anything we want with the patient records, with the x-rays, and that took us about 2 days. So that's really terrible. Fun, great. So, people ask me, okay, you're professionals, you went in, everybody knows what you're doing. Is it that easy to actually hack important stuff? And instead of just telling you how, I decided that, and that's the part where I didn't know this was going to be live streamed. Usually, we don't allow taking videos of our talks. So we're ethical hackers, right? We do the bad stuff, but we don't destroy anything. We don't copy anything. And then we have to call whatever we're doing. So Shodan, it's like the Google for everything else. Google does all the websites, whatever website you made when you were 20 years ago, it's still up in Google, but everything else is connected to the internet right now. The cars, the refrigerators, monitors. I'm pretty sure here there's like hundreds of devices that don't belong to us was still connected to the internet. And this really scans the internet just like Google. There's a few of those. It's not the only one. And then you can just explore and find, yes, like today, and find all sorts of like weird stuff that you can do. Okay, so I already prepared a few. Okay, so what I searched for was a Netgear router because the brands, there's nobody here from Netgear? Okay, the brand sucks. They have zero security. And I looked for one close by in France, even though I have to go out through France. So I hope nobody stops me on the way. And this is a Netgear. Oh, it's by Orange. I think there's sponsors here. Is anybody here from Orange? Damn. Okay. So basically, I see where it is. I see the ports. Let's see. And I know that Netgear, 9 times out of 10, they have the same password at the factory. So basically, it's not something, right, it's somebody's house. Everybody's going to come back from the talk and look at their network, at like the router in the house, like, fuck, who changed the password on this one? Nobody does. It works, their internet works, and now I can change the password, I can see which devices are connected, I can hack those devices, and so on and so on. Okay, let's look for something more interesting. Well, South Africa, I have enough problem. Let's not go into South Africa. This comes up. Okay, so routers are nice, but factories are much nicer. So what I looked for in the red stuff is industrial control system. Basically, on the right side over here, you can see a lot of devices made by Schneider Electric. And I can see the type of device if I go into the Schneider Electric website. Oops. Yes, like today. I can see that it's this one. This is part of like something that controls all sorts of electricity that goes into machines. And it has an Ethernet port. So at the factory where this is, somewhere in Italy, I actually called them, I'll talk about it in a second. But this is connected, and from their computer, they can control all the other machines in the factory or wherever they are, and we can do it from here also. So this is the type of stuff that keeps us awake at night. I'll find something, just one more. Well, two more. I'm lying again. So this, I won't go into this one because it's right close by. It's in the city next door, and it belongs to a telecommunication router. And I can see on the right side all the services that are open. Now, the thing is, it's not secret because since it's part of the internet, it has to broadcast all of this stuff out. So they have pretty good security on most of it, but on the left side, this search engine lets me see what type of stuff I have to do to take control over everything that's open on the right side. So at this point, okay, one more. Never mind. This one. I showed it yesterday. So this I researched it for like a week or two ago. And every time we find something like this, we send an email or something to the place to show. It was like, dear sir or madam, your security sucks. Please fix. And then like a made-up name. That's why probably they don't read it. But again, we do send it, and I have to call some of these people. So this is something, industrial control system in Poland. It takes a while to get to Poland, and whatever that is, I still haven't figured out what exactly. I sent them an email, but I don't know what they do, but it's a dryer control, looks pretty big, and there's all these things that are so, they're not really working, but if I had time, I could probably shut it down. So this is one thing. And I keep saying this is not really hacking. It's really searching for stuff, understanding what you see, clicking, and you can take down pretty serious stuff. Every day or so, they found new stuff that's coming up. People keep protecting their systems, but millions of systems keep showing up in the same search engine. So one last thing, and this again, it's ethical hacking. I'm not changing anything. But we hear about all the private information getting lost from everywhere. And this is a company that does consulting for pharma or manufacturing. And they do have a login box here. And if I go, yes, paste. So what did I just do? The login box is actually a window into their backend server. So usually you just put a user and password, it goes to the server, it asks if the user exists, and then it lets you do whatever you want. But those weird characters that I put in actually tell the server to let me do whatever the hell I want. And this is a 15-year-old security hole, which is still always somewhere, and we can take a look at their customer list. Yes, and see whatever, and so forth and so forth. They still haven't answered my emails. So I have to actually go there at some point and tell them. So, so everything is connected, everything is hackable. We can do it from here. If you want to stay like for dinner, we can do all this stuff live over dinner. I'm not going to teach you how to hack, but I'm going to, show you where to look. But so far, there's just not a lot of money to do this stuff. 10 billion like $1 billion or $10 billion in damages is really a very small number. So there's no motivation to really do the bad stuff that we're talking about. But where everybody's talking, I'm sorry I'm bumming people out. Everybody's really optimistic and the world is nice. I like technology, but this is what we have to deal with. This is why I don't sleep at night, because we're completely moving into this new world where everything is connected, everything is a login box, including airplanes, you know, because you use the Wi-Fi on the airplane, and it's the same thing, and the robots are sending the information to Google. Everything is more connected than ever, and they're putting robots and stuff in places that they probably shouldn't be. By the way, I thought the left guy was the robot at first. I was like, this is a really nice looking robot. But what we have is like robots. They're going to show up at that search engine pretty soon. And people like me are going to obviously want to take over the robot because, it seems like a good idea. Have you seen like the flying taxi? It's amazing. As soon as it's operational, I'm going to have one. I'm not going to pay for it, but I'm definitely going to have one. And the thing is that we're like quickly deploying around the world. Everything is like smart weapons and smart missiles, which for hackers seems like a lot of fun or a bad idea if you're an ethical hacker. So, and also, we talked about medicine before. It's great. It keeps people alive. And the old pacemakers had a Wi-Fi password of 4 characters. So the new ones are a bit better. That's what my team is checking right now. I can't wait to get back into Israel and start hacking insulin machine and stuff like that. And all of the login problem goes to, these are the people in charge. So I love the right one because it's from France. It's TV5 from a couple years ago. He was interviewed live from the TV studio with the password right behind him. And 24 hours later, they were hacked. Coincidence? And on the left side, Israeli cop with the new speed radar camera, whatever, on TV, very proud of whatever they're doing, with the password ABCD1234 and all the stuff I need just to go. Of course we did. Come on. You would all do the same thing. And so on and so on. Because whatever security, whatever stuff we build and we don't know how to do it correctly, there's always this guy, right? There's always some guy who ignores everything else. By the way, it's always a guy. We should definitely if you want to make cybersecurity better, just get more women into it. Guys are terrible. It's like giving atomic bombs for boys. That's about it. And so every security guy in the world knows whatever I've been saying now. I know it comes to a surprise to some people in the audience, but we know this is the situation and nobody's doing anything about it. And the governments and everything, everybody says that, they have unemployment, they have other stuff to worry about. The only time they're going to worry about it is when a plane comes out of the sky. We need a lot of people to die in order for everybody to take cybersecurity seriously. That's not what we do. Somebody else is going to do that for us, because basically my team, and there's a lot of people like that around the world, a lot of teams in country, they don't usually talk about what they do. But we're all working, we're playing the bad guys, and we're doing all this stuff so people can start preparing for all the stuff that's coming. And that's my thing. It's not a Republican t-shirt, by the way, I was asked. So.